few people come, few people go. So we've had Morel come, go, and we had, well, not go, but
I,
move.
I,
We've
I
had
mean, I was kind of joking about this that maybe I'm the toxic one.
what?
Maybe I'm like maybe I'm the toxic one in the Space Ape team. I scared off Days, then I scared off Maril, I scared
Vivek,
off Astra, and then
George. What
I
happened to
scared off.
George? Where did George
So,
go?
so okay. Well, let's go through your question, and then we can maybe talk about them more a little bit. Space Ape is a very, and I'm not just saying this. I'm probably the most distant person away from Space Ape because I'm actually a remote worker, so I don't really have that affinity to Space Ape as many people do. They're probably watching this and maybe disappointed when we say that. I mean, I'm a remote worker, right? It's very difficult when you're not going into the office every day to really like. I really love the company. It's weird because I work at
Yeah,
home and I don't go into the
you feel
office.
detached a bit.
Um, yeah, I feel a little bit, a little bit detached.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because the company's done so much for me despite feeling that way, which is quite amazing.
So just a
Uh,
second to clear up. So
yeah, yeah.
are a lot of people still in the office then?
So some people go into the office and some people don't. It's mostly
Okay.
hybrid, but for me, I'm just fully remote.
Okay.
So, and this is the amazing thing about Space Ape. So before I joined Space Ape, I had a company that was like you were there for like maybe a month and then you'd leave. But at Space Ape, it's like you've been here for 4 years and you're like still one of the new people because people have been here for like
Hmm.
double that, and you're every week we're having an announcement of maybe not every week, maybe every like few months now, of people having a tenure of 10, 15 years, well 10 years, and you're like wow, like I'm just getting to, because after 5 years you get a statue, after 10 years you get like some gong thing, which is amazing. So I can't wait to get my statue next year for being here for 5 years. Um, but that's just amazing, right? That people here are staying that long. I could never imagine staying at a company for 10 years, but this company actually makes me. And I'm not doing all the corporate spiel. I said I don't like doing this. I don't like coming on stream and you go, he's got, he's got to speak good about his company. He works for them. But genuinely, I mean, I'm the most detached from it. It's pretty amazing to see people here for that long. And I'm not even here that long, but seeing people here for 10 years is quite amazing. I mean, you could go on Glassdoor, people review the company all the time,
Hmm.
right? It's not, they put their opinions in of what they really think. I think it's got like, I think it's in like pretty high. I think it's got like
Yeah.
99% approval or something. So the company's doing something right. But in terms of like what's the turnover like on our game? Quite simply, people may go to other projects within the company. Everybody who has worked on this game in the past 5 years, who the players have met, have just simply quite moved to other projects within Space Ape. They haven't left the studio. Like George still in the studio, Vivek still in the studio, Meryl still in the studio, Daisy still in the studio, um, Astra still in the studio. It's not like they've
But why
been
is this? Why do they all get moved on so quick? Like,
so
it's not only been in the game
so
for like 3 or 4 years, like yourself, and get moved on. It's like a quick turn of like six
no
to nine months
so
moved on, six, and then, you know.
so let's talk about it then. So we had George, and George was very new to Transformers, so I think it wasn't really. I can't really speak for George, but obviously he wasn't here for very long. Maybe he didn't really like the game decide side of it because it's a demanding role. Like there's no like so in Space 8 we've got Beatstar, we've got Country Star, we've got Crane Valley Customs. If you're a game designer, you either work on Transformers and then working on Beatstar is very different. It's a very different kind of style of
Yeah.
game. So um, sometimes a game designer might come to here and go, you know what, this game is just draining. But for a game designer, it's very different. Maybe I feel best suited on a game that is more away from the players and quite like different. Like for Beatstar, their designers are quite in the background and they're just
Yeah.
doing beat maps and things for the songs. Or Crone Valley, you're doing levels for the game, match three. You don't really need to be in a player facing role. So sometimes people get a bit of a shock when they join Transformers and you're put straight to the community and you're like, oh, maybe I want to work on. Maybe I don't really want to do that kind of game design position. It's not really what I want to do. So they also think that. So then maybe George felt that way, which he's doing amazing on the other games anyway. Who did we have after that? So let's talk about it. Who did we have after that?
Design wise, Vivek was next then.
So Vivek, yeah, so Vivek only joined us to fill in just a temporary period. So Vivek is still in Space Ape, but because we was going through a long recruiting phase, so obviously because Fabian went, it took us ages to find somebody. Yeah, so Trax has also mentioned Adam. So Adam and Vivek was also just filling in temporary, just to like train up our new designers that was coming on board. So we had obviously Jesse who joined us, and we've just had Sam. But the whole recruitment process for design, we thought we got to a place where we had it, and we didn't, because obviously people may have thought that, other games were suited for them. They're still in Space Ape, so that's where the turnover come from them. But in terms of now, I mean, we've got Jesse, Sam, and touch wood, I think we'll keep them now. That's our team that we're going to have for the next year or so. Sam, even when we spoke to Sam, we tried to learn from some of the events that's happened in the past. This is the game which is community facing. You're going to have to speak to the community. You're going to have to be on the you're going to have to be on Twitch and things, and you have to talk about them. We really didn't write paper the role. We wanted to know. We wanted to give people the heads up. This is what you're getting into, and you need to listen to them. So maybe we didn't do that well enough with people who joined the team in the past. So we can talk more about the community side. So that is the game design side. Is there's just too many diverse games at Space Ape. Sorry that this one is very different to all the other ones. Some of the game designers who talk about game design on Transformers, all the other game designers in the company are like, wow, really? You have to deal with a lot of that? It's very different. In terms of community, what's the turnover like community? So we had Daisy, didn't we?
Yeah.
So rightly so, Daisy went to BeatStar because they needed somebody, and she's doing a great job over there. And honestly, I think Daisy is probably more suited to BeatStar. She loves music. She loves Transformers too, and she loves the community, but she was like massive music fan. And when they're looking for somebody who's a music fan, it just makes sense to pick Daisy. So they took Daisy, and I'm like, okay, on my own now. So who did I get after that? I mean, you might know this more than me. I mean, it's all just like a blur. Everything.
Was it Astra next? I think, or Astra before Daisy. I can't remember.
Astra's always here in the background, always helping Transformers. So I really don't want to count Astra as somebody that we've lost. Like if I message Astra to fill in for a week, she's here, so she's great. So I don't really want to count Astra as somebody we've lost, because Astra's still actually doing work for us right now.
But what's she working on primarily though? No, Astra.
She's doing social media, so she's doing socials across all of our games. So yeah, she's always there, which is great. For my backstory in social media, I'm not really bothered about it. I'd rather just I'm not. Yeah, I mean, for me, if somebody else can do it, great. I would rather just speak to the players on Discord, or do some tickets, or do something like do some game design. So I don't want to spend time writing a post on Facebook. Sorry, don't really want to do that. I'm not good at it anyway, so I'd let somebody else who's much better than me do it. After that, we had Meryl. Meryl came in. And she wasn't very long either, and that's because so Meryl wanted to do a massive marketing campaign for Transformers Air Force, and it just happened to be that we needed somebody in marketing at this exact time, and Meryl had this massive plan she really wanted to grow the game, wants to get us on the Google Play Store, had this massive plan, and it was just like, this is going to take you a lot of time, and you're a community manager. Do you want to just maybe move to marketing and actually fully invest on this? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's move Meryl to marketing. Sadly, I'm now down again. But what Meryl will do in marketing is she will be able to spend more time on just building this whole marketing idea of pushing the game, growing the game, getting it on the Play Store. So already you're starting to think, actually, this high turnover, you may think it's high turnover, but it's actually in a way, were giving people different opportunities because they're obviously suited in better areas, and we don't want to tie people down to our game, right? If they think they're suited better elsewhere, we're not going to hold them hostage. We're not going to say, hey, no, you're going to stay here. So they clearly had better opportunities, which was also like Daisy obviously wasn't going to help us, but moving Marrow was definitely going to help us because it was an ambition to grow the game for us. And that's what, again, I talk about our ambition for the game. Our ambition for the game is to make sure it's here for the next 5 to 10 years. And moving Meryl was part of that ambition. Because she was going to be able to grow it in many ways that I definitely can't do that. I'm not good at marketing, so I've already said that. So, yeah, that's why Meryl went. Did I miss anybody?
I think that's everyone. I mean,
Yeah,
from
and
the
then we
outside looking in, I mean, for me, it just seems like you get someone in, you go, oh, they're pretty good. Let's give them a project we care more about. That's honestly what it seemed about. Like Transformers Earth Wars was like the sort of project that Space Ape don't really care about. The bigger projects, let's put them into that because we want to push that more. And Earth Wars just sort of like,
I think
what's the
yeah, I think
phrase? Sort of like going through the motions.
yeah, it's easy to see why you could think that, but I will tell you now that Space Ape, I think with it being an IP, Transformers, Space Ape love it. Space Ape absolutely love this game, and that's why they kind of was like to Yanis, how can we help you more? Like, how can we help you more in making sure the game is part of that ambition of making sure the game is here in the future? So, for example, we've hired a server tech because we couldn't really build features that involved changing the server and things, and we got supported by actually having somebody who could server tech. We had an investment in support staff because we need to answer our tickets faster. So we've also got an extra game designer who is obviously Sam. So we've also bolts upon this. So we used to always commonly have one designer. We've got two. We've just got Chris from Rival Kingdoms, who's moved over. So that, again, that's another person part of the Transformers team. So what you're seeing is you're seeing like a high turnover, but what you're actually knowing in the background is we've hired a server tech, we've got an extra game designer. I know it doesn't look it from the outside, I get it, but in the last 3 months we've had extra game designer, extra server tech, we've got a bigger support team now, and there's one person, we've actually got a person who's helping hire now. So we've actually like bolstered like maybe 5 or 6 bodies on this team this year to obviously keep that ambition. Obviously, I've not even counted Callum, so we've got an extra community manager. Obviously, we've
Yeah, I was
always
going to
had
say, you've
a
obviously had
community
Sam
manager.
come in, Callum come in,
Yeah,
and Jesse
so
come in, so.
yeah, so it's all numbers. So yeah, I can understand why you see it as like, oh my god, Space Ape hate this game, but it's quite the opposite. They had Yanis and said, look, what do you need? What do you need? Tell us what you need, and we'll give you everything you need to succeed. So yeah, I can only say that is what they're doing. Obviously, I work on the game, and if they ever felt that way, I'm definitely not going to be happy. And I'll be fighting for the game. I can tell you that much to our CEOs. But the CEOs genuinely care about the game. I mean, they're always asking about the players. I always thought when you worked in games, you never speak to the CEO, but they sit in our meetings.
Yeah, I actually
They
spoke to
ask about.
Max when I was a.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, not
yeah.
Max,
I
not a
mean, Matt.
CEO, is he? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, the CEOs definitely care about the game and our mental health and things like that. But Max, I mean, we have a call every week and he talks about the game. So we're always talking about Transformers Air Force. So I'll tell you now, there's a lot of people around this company that definitely care. And it's also one of Space Ape's second launches as well. Like, this isn't a game that they want to go down the pan very easily, and they will fight for this game. And thankfully, we're not even close to that point. But we've got that resources to build on the success we've got now, which is amazing, to be honest. Obviously, I always say this, that um, if 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 we had, with the team growing now, if you said, can we have 4 more people, the answer is yes. We'll always
Yeah.
want more people. We'll always want more people. But I tell you now, in the last year, we have grown. We have grown in people, and you can see it. I'm not just lying to you. You can see the people. We've got Cube. He's on Discord. Go message him. Go say hey. We've got Sam. Go say hey. We've got Callum. Go say hey. The support staff, you probably see a different few names on the email footers now and again. They're all different people. Don't worry. We're not making them up. So yeah, those people are out there. You can see them. They're good. They're nice people, and it's with a game in mind. Because Hyro kind of needed help as well, which is good. He needed help on building events and taking some other things, because Hyro's got cool projects he wants to do as well. doesn't want to just keep making leaderboards. He wants to do
Can't be
something
that hard.
useful.
Just going more expensive, more expensive, more expensive. Pressing that button, can it?
Oh, Hyro.
You get so much stick.
Honestly, he gets so much stick. He genuinely does care about it. It's a horrible job to do. It is a horrible job to do. Somebody says, sadly, all games do need to make money. You know, that is the be all and end all. Any game that loses money will be shut down. I'm not saying we're any. I don't want people to think that we're shutting down or we're
Yeah,
making, or
yeah,
I'm starting rumors that we're starting, that we're shutting down. I'm just saying that if League of Legends tomorrow started losing money, they would go, well, we have to shut League of Legends down because we're not making any money anymore. That's the example I'm trying to make. So yeah, he's got a hard job. He has to balance the economy in the way where, and this is why I'd be bad at live ops, is you have to start being very, very low. Like if, for example, like 5-star shards, he just has to be really tight with it,
It's not
because
that for me. It's
because the thing is, if you give too much, it's you can't recover. If in a game economy, if you give too much of something out, you cannot recover unless you go, oh, okay, I'm gonna make a new currency because I messed that one up. All right, yeah, okay, that's a bit of a cheating way to get out of it. I'll be honest, that's a bit of a cheating way, but it is a way around it. Like if you ever break the economy, you just make a new currency and then you just
yeah,
start building around that one. But if you start low, you can start ramping up slowly. Like, oh, did I break anything? What's the data say? Okay, I can bring a bit more in and a bit more. And I think that's the way Hyro sees it. Is he starts to be like he does not the minimum, but he goes below, way below the minimum. But he's almost like active cautiousness because if he gets it wrong, then we just have to design new currencies and it's going to get out of hand. The game's going to have like 400 currencies. I mean, I logged on to another mobile game the other day and I was speaking to their community manager and they were saying, look, our live ops team really messed this up. We have to make six new currencies for this because they couldn't get it right. They really got it wrong. Like, I can't tell you the name, but you wouldn't believe that our live ops team seriously do a good job. I know you're sat there going, yeah, but they've got such a meme in the community. I get it, I see it. But Hyro loves the game. He really does. If I tell you what, if this game went anywhere, he would be so distraught about it. He'd be gutted. Seriously, he'd be the first person who'd be gutted about it. Even when we're talking like different projects we're doing, he's well up for it. He loves it.